Introduce yourself so that we can kick off.
Yeah, so hi to everybody, to those who know me and those who don't know me. I'm Dia. My page is called Dia Cakes It, and I make realistic cakes, and I love making textures, and I share all my passion with my community, and I love what I do. I currently don't take that many orders. I mainly make content for my page and for brands. So yeah, I love what I do. So that's basically about me.
How did you move from being HR, being a psychology, into the world of cake?
Yeah, has been a very risky detour. I did my undergrads in psychology, and then I did my master's in human resource management after I came here. And 20 years ago, when I did my degree, I had no idea that I was going to become a content creator one day. So it's completely a detour to what I had planned, what I had mapped out for me. But life's all about pleasant surprises, and here I am today.
How did your background in psychology and HR influence your approach to baking and content creation?
Like I said, when I did my graduation or my post-graduation, decades ago, I did not know I'd be doing content creation. So it hasn't reflected that much in what I do at the moment. But of course, studying psychology is basically studying human behavior and why people behave the way they do. So maybe directly or indirectly, it shapes the person I am today, understanding humans, understanding my audience. So yeah, so indirectly, maybe my psychology degree does help me to a certain extent, but overall, no, it's been a complete change in career.
Okay, did your diploma in advertising and marketing help you in building your cake brand and online presence?
Tremendously. I did my MA dip in advertising and public relations, I think 17 years ago. So at that time, content creation did not exist. I loved copywriting, and I thought that's what I was going to do. But I think life does come a full circle. So even though I'm not directly linked to ad and PR, content creation or what I make at the moment has a huge influence on what I do at the moment, whether it's understanding consumer behavior, my audience, what they want, a problem that I can solve, how I can serve them, having that unique selling point. I've always, in advertising and PR, you learn that it's not just a quality product, it's how you sell it that is equally important. So it's something simple as you can be an amazing cake artist, but if you don't sell yourself, people will not be able to see your work, see your talent. So it, whether it's related to my work, whether it's to do with the hook, the visuals, every single element matter, and not just the cake that I bake. So yes, advertising and marketing has a huge role to play, and even branding for that matter, because I'd like to think that when people think of Dia Cakes, they think about realistic cakes. So yeah.
When you moved from India to UK, how difficult was it for you to settle?
I think one thing that taught me is adaptability and resilience, because that is something that I've taken with me even today. Whether it's moving to a new country, a foreign country, different culture, different way of doing things. I think to be able to be flexible and to adapt to different situations has been key skill that it's taken me through my life, my journey, whether it's transitioning from a career to content creation or making cake. So it's just been all about flexibility and adapting.
Is at first, baking wasn't part of your plan. What gives you courage to take it seriously?
um I love cooking, and baking has always been an extension of my culinary art. My friends and family, loved my cakes and my bakes, and I was quite happy with, them wanting seconds. That was like my trophy. Oh, they love my cakes. But I think taking it seriously has happened more progressively and gradually. And I think probably the turning point was when I won the Fair Trade Cake Off for the best tasting cake. To be honest, I did not enroll myself. My husband secretly enrolled me and came and told me, "Oh, by the way, I've entered you for the Fair Trade Cake Off for the taste category." And I was livid because I was quite happy with my comfort zone, being where I am, my loved ones loving my cake. And, I didn't want to compete. I didn't want to go in for a competition. And that was scary. But one thing he said is, what's the worst that can happen? And unless you try, you'll never know. So I went in with my Black Forest cake, quite inhibited, and then I came back later to see a first prize next to my cake. And I think, when you are applauded by loved ones, it's slightly different to when you are judged by Michelin star chefs. And that day, when I was, taking pictures with the mayor, doing interviews with the press, or having my victory posted, on the local newspaper the next day, it hit a chord. Um, I loved the win and I wanted more. And I think that is when, I realized that, it just bred a sense of self-confidence and belief that I take with me even today.
What motivated you into cake war when you didn't even know how to decorate properly?
Well, when I entered for the Fair Trade Cake Off, I entered in the taste category. I did not know how to decorate. I promise you that. I did not know how to cover a cake with fondant. But I think that win taught me one thing, that I want to learn. I want to learn more. I want to, get better than yesterday. And I think that that's when, I just thought that I've got to hone my skills and, perfect something that I'm not good at. As long as I'm better than yesterday, that's what's important. So I practiced, and the next year I came back. This time my husband didn't. I enrolled myself in the celebration cake category, and I came first.
You are also a self-taught cake artist. During your early stage, learning by your experience, like
So it was all about learning for me. I never thought I'm going to become a realistic cake artist, or I'm going to, become a content creator one day. I did not think of the distant future. All I thought was I want to be better than yesterday. That's all I wanted. For me, my prize was if I have improved even an inch more than yesterday, that was my prize. So yeah, there were tough moments. There were moments when, it just wasn't working. But I just wanted to learn, and that hunger to learn is, what kept me going. I think failure is part of every learning process. Unless you fail, you'll never learn. So I think what with failure, it depends how you take it. If you take it negatively, that, oh, I'm rubbish at it, I don't want to go for it, that's fine. But if you take it positively, if you take it like a learning curve, if you take it like, it didn't work, how can I make it work, how can I improve? And I think it's all about the perception. So failure is not a fail, it's a learn, but it depends how you look at it. And as long as you don't give up, you can only get better.
at what point did you discover that, man, I'm good at hyper realism?
So when I started decorating cakes, I started making fondant cakes for my kids' birthdays and everything. And I remember the first time I made a burger cake. I think something hit. It was I think 10 years ago. It was very amateur, but I loved sculpting. I loved the textures. I loved painting. It didn't matter whether it was great or not. It was the fact that it gave me joy. And I think that's when I realized that this is me and this is probably something that I want to do. No, no, I don't think failure was something that I was scared of because I had nothing to lose. You're scared of things when you are when you're scared to lose. I had nothing to lose. The only thing I had was to gain. And I think failure just like I said, failure just teaches you. It's your teacher. So I've always considered failure never as a failure but as my teacher. It's always what I've gained from it. That's what matters. So first time you fail, it didn't work. The next time you fail, you'll probably notice the same thing is slightly better. The next time it'll be even better, and the final time you'll crack it. But to reach that stage where you've cracked it, you would never get there till you crossed the failing stages. But the only difference is not giving up. So, failure is fine, but giving up is the problem. So, yeah, I mean, I've always had that I won't give up attitude. So, I think that's probably made the difference.
Okay, you're a very powerful cake artist and content creator. I want to ask you, how did you deal with not knowing how to create social media content when you started?
So when I started, I it was a very difficult decision because obviously moving from a stable career to moving into content creation was scary. But I also knew that I didn't want to uh, bake cakes for people, doing cakes that I did not enjoy. I wanted to do what I enjoyed, and I knew content creation was the only way forward. But that's living in a fluffy dream when you don't even know how to create content. But I think I took it as a challenge, and that's where I went ahead with.
What role did your family play in supporting your baking journey and your content creation?
Oh, a tremendous role. I think it's slightly different when you're single and you can take risks and you don't, it's just, it's much easier, to build on a career or, make changes. But I think it's very different when you have a family and children. You have to be a bit more pragmatic. You have to think over your decisions. And I think, without the family support, it's not really not possible. I mean, when I started, got into content creation, the first few months or even a year, I wasn't, earning anything. And I was just constantly, you know, self-doubting myself. Did I do the right decision? Did I take the right decision? But I think without family support, without that backbone, like I always say, there's a saying which says the success of behind the success of every man there is a woman. But I think, for me, it's behind my success. I think it's my husband, because without his support, I don't think I'd be able to pursue my dreams with so much of passion and be here today.
I'm taking you back to when you won a gold medal at Cake International. It's a huge achievement.
I'll tell you one thing. The first time I entered Cake International years ago, I got a merit. I was thrilled. I was thrilled. And I looked at the silvers and golds with a sense of reverence. And I thought, maybe one day in the future, if I tried. So, to see that gold next to my cake wasn't just an achievement, it was an emotion. It
Mm.
was it was thinking, look how far you've come, with hard work, with passion, and with dedication, you can be anywhere. I think that was just a stamp. So yeah, so it meant a lot more.
I also want to take you on some of your achievements. How did you feel working with global brands?
Again, working with global brands like Nike, Disney, PayPal has all been surreal, but I think it's just goes to show it's proof and validation that when there's a will, there's a way. Nothing is unachievable. When you set your mind to it. So yeah, it's all been surreal, but it's been hard earned.
I would like to ask you some personal question. You are a wife and you're also a mother. How do you
Um, like they say,
handle these
females
responsibilities?
are good at multitasking. That's it's just, that's how we are. That's how we are genetically born with. So I think it's hard to juggle family, work, kids, especially, when you're living in UK, unlike India, where you get, a bit of help, home help and everything. Here, you don't have that luxury. You've got to do all the cleaning, you've got to do all your washing, you have to do everything. On top of that, you've got to keep on top of work. You have to, take the kids to school, do the cooking, everything. So I think it is very hard, but I think human beings are very adaptable, I think, to situations. So when you don't have a choice, you learn to, adapt and, deal with it, basically. I mean, all I'll say is we all start from somewhere. Um, you know, I started with 0 followers 3 years ago. And I honestly did not know that I'd be here today, especially because I did not know the difference between a portrait mode or a landscape mode. I did not know how to film content. I did not have any help to get professionally edited or filmed content. Coming on camera scared me. I was, showing behind the scenes and stuff was like, oh my God, what will people think? Am I looking okay? Doing voiceovers, they were completely alien and new to me. I'd never done it. But I think the biggest step to take is just do it. It what can get worse? All that's going to happen is you're going to learn something new. You might find something that is your unique selling point, that is so you that you love it. But unless you try something, you'd never know. And I think it's all to do with working for it and not giving up, because there have been numerous times, okay, fine, might have a healthy following now, but there was a time when, I used to spend days creating content, and I used to hardly get any views and just a few likes. It was disheartening. I will not deny it was disheartening, but I did not give up. I knew that, I had chosen this path for myself. I mean, at least I don't give up, I mean, it will be okay. And I think consistency on social media is key. Sometimes when you post a reel and you think, oh, it didn't do well, and then you post after a month, social media will not is unforgiving. So it's all about consistency. They reward you for your consistency. I have shown up every single day, well, 4 to 5 days a week for the last 3 years without fail. So I think that is what, because people might see that, oh, you've got a great following, but they don't see what goes behind it. So I think hard work will be rewarded, but don't give up.
how can one realize or get to know his or her field in the baking business to create a niche for themselves?
I think the best way to do that is experiment, try different things, because there are some people who are amazing with buttercream and can create magic. There are some people who can create fantastic wedding cakes and fondant cakes and celebration cakes models. there are some people like me who can create amazing, realistic cakes. So I think unless you try, you'll never know. Like in my instance, because I made that burger cake 7 years ago, it just, I just realized that, oh my God, I love it so much. And, I want to do more of that. I want to try more of that. So I think unless you experiment with different mediums, different techniques, you won't know what is for you. And I think it's always frustrating when you're just stuck to one thing and it's not working. But if you try different things, you might find something, a space which is, so you, and, you'll just know when that happens. Yeah, I mean, when I was informed that they wanted me to be in the top 100 women for womanpreneur for or the occasion of Women's Day, it was just surreal. I mean, I'm still trying to process it and finding it difficult to still believe. But yeah, it's just been very, very overwhelming.
Among all your achievements, which milestone felt the most surreal to you?
Um, I think all my achievements have a special place because they're all my babies. So every moment that I've had where I've achieved something has been momentous because it's something that I've received through my hard earned, whether it's getting amazing brand deals, whether it's reaching a healthy fan following, whether it's having my video being featured in the top 100 videos on ITV, whether but I think what made me cry was getting gold at Cake International. But I think, having said that, I think what's most surreal is to have an amazing community who love and support me so much all over the world. And I think, that is something that no award can replace.
If you have opportunity to choose your career again, will you choose caking and content creation again? And if you say yes, why?
Hands down, I would, because I think it's real. To be honest, um, it's not easy. I'll not say it's easy, but I've never shied away from a challenge. It's mentally exhausting, it's draining, but at the same time, the rewards are something that, nothing can replace. It's what brings me joy. It's my therapy platform, and so yes, hands down, I choose the same career again. Maybe
Thank you so
sooner, maybe sooner than what I did now.
Okay, thank you so much. We had amazing time together, and I've not been seeing questions coming up. I don't know whether people don't want to ask questions. Thank you so much. Thank you. We are almost ending this section. We have some few questions we ask every of our guests coming up on this platform. Boss, we want to ask you if you have power, like you have a superpower, what will you have done in the baking world to favor cake artists?
Um, I think it's a difficult one, really. I think maybe, have a community of where everybody is willing to help and share their knowledge. I know it's a business and everything, but I think that's the only way where cake artists can grow and learn. So I think sharing knowledge doesn't make you smaller. It just
Oh,
helps one another. So you may share your knowledge, but in return, you're receiving from someone else as well. So I think, in a in an ideal world, maybe where, there was always an answer where you clicked a button and, you got it. ChatGPT is not that advanced, sadly, because it can't base itself based on human experience. So, yeah.
I was actually coming to that. Uh, do you think social media is of advantage to the baking world?
Oh, it's a great advantage as long as you use it wisely, because like I did mention, about a product, your cakes might look like masterpieces, but it's you want it to be seen, whether it's to get business or whatever, it has to be seen, and the only way it can be seen is through, well, you can create ads, you can, but this is the easiest way to actually, people to see your work. It's a free way to get, to advertise your work. So social media is indispensable, especially if you want to grow your business.
In terms of social media is very powerful that we can see whatever is going on around the world. With your strength on social media, what can you say about the baking industry in Africa? Do you think they are actually really, really coming up to the world standards?
I think they are. I mean, apologies, I don't have much knowledge, but obviously, with having the social media at our disposal, everybody, is learning so much, and they're just growing. So yeah.
If given opportunity to advise the young people that I want to be like this, what would be that advice?
All I'll say is, find what you love, do it with passion, and don't give up when times get tough. I think that is the key, to not run away when things are not easy. Every rose comes with its thorns. So if you truly believe in something, if you think this is for you, uh, give it your best, but never shy away from problems, because problems, just finding solutions to those problems will actually, make you grow in the long run. So, yeah, just hard work and, not giving up, and lots of passion and loving what you do.
Okay, thank you so much. We had an amazing time together. I've learned a lot, and I believe everyone joining us have learned something. But before you go, looking at your career, what is that thing that you wish you knew before now?
What I think the only thing that I would change is not understanding a decade ago, the power of content creation and the power of social media. And if I was to change it, I would definitely start sooner than I did 3 years ago. So I think that is my biggest regret, that I realized something is for me um, much later. So, but it's never too late, as long as you found what you love.
Thank you so much. And then, what will be your take on this platform, Becca's TV show?
It's a great way to bring together different artists from all over the world, share their ideas, their knowledge with the community in general. So, it's just it's a brilliant way for people to come to, know more about the bakers, the person behind the scenes, how, they can impact on the audience's business. So yeah, it's a great way. So no, thank you for hosting the show. Thank you so much for having me on your show. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye
Bye.
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 And bye
Bye.
bye to everyone.
Bye.